Alright guys, welcome back, and in this video we will be talking about passing arguments to functions as values or as references. And I'm sorry, but I had to turn this thing off because it's so hot nowadays in Stockholm, and it's just producing so much heat. It's incredible. So we had to turn it off. Anyway, let's create a project. Next C++ reference or value. So let me show you some C++ magic. Let's define the function here. Void increase. So we have a function called increase. It takes an argument which is called a, and let's just have a plus plus. So we add 1 to a, and then we see out a. So for example, let's define the function here. Let's define a variable int test number. So test number is equal to 5. Now, what will happen if I call increase test number here? And let's write here, okay, test number after increment in function. Let's do like this, number after increment in function, and then here after we will write number after the function. Some misspellings, but that is totally fine. So guys, what is going on here? We have a test number. We give it to this increase function. It just adds 1 to the number in this, because it takes the parameter here, adds 1 to it, and then it prints whatever value a now has. And then we print the value after the function. So what do you think will happen? Do you think that test number will be affected or not? Let's take a look. We build and run, and we see that number after increment in function is 6. So let's add spaces here. So you see that this number here is now 6. However, this number here is still 5. Why is it so? Well, it is because when we, let's just rebuild this. When we give a variable to a function in C++, it actually makes a copy of that variable. So when we add 1 to the variable here, it doesn't change the variable right here, because this variable is only copied into this function, and when we do operations on this argument, the initial variable is not affected. So this is what we mean by value. So let's write that. When we pass arguments by value and change them in the function, the original value doesn't change. So this is how we do by value. However, if we just make a simple alteration and add a little what is this called, asterisk, this and sign, and we do the same thing. Let's see, we build and run. You see that now both of them have changed. Number after increment in function is 6, and number after function is also 6. So as you can see, this function right here was able to permanently change this this variable. So by giving this and sign, we're actually passing in a reference to this original variable. We're not giving the function a copy, we're actually passing the reference to the original value in here, this variable. And so when we change it in here, this value actually changes. So this is something to keep in mind. And sometimes you might just have a function like this that doesn't return anything, but it still affects the outside world. It still has effects on the outside world, because, for example, it might be the case that we have passed in a variable that is that is passed by reference, and therefore when we do operations on it inside the function, the value changes. So guys, I hope you understand. I hope you have a better picture of how passing variables by reference versus passing variables by value, how it is different. And so if we just summarize, pass arguments by reference and change them in the function, the original value does change. So this is the difference: pass arguments by value or by reference. Hope you enjoyed, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.